tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm Curtis Keene. I'm a California native, born and raised. Will never leave California, even though I've been enticed to. Yeah, I race mountain bikes for a living across the globe, and currently it's off season, and I'm enjoying some downtime in Los Angeles. So, yeah, pretty simple person, I'd say.
Indelicate as this is, how old are you?
I'm 37. I just had a birthday, actually. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I feel like I'm 21 mentally.
Ride the bike for a living? How does that work?
Yes, I race mountain bikes for a living. I race Enduro World Series, which is a circuit across the globe. We have 8 races, and we range from New Zealand to France to Italy to stuff in the US. So we have 8 circuits between March through October. We race that circuit, a bunch of us internationally, and yeah, we race bikes and chase race wins and hope for glory.
Well, how is Enduro something different than something like the Tour de France?
Well, Tour de France is road bikes, and then Enduro is a format where we race mountain bikes, and it's something that mimics what mountain bikers do on the weekends in their free time. On a weekend, generally people get together with their buddies, and you kind of cruise on the climbs, and you're always riding, you're always searching for the fun part, the downhill, and you do a bunch of those throughout a day. And the Enduro format is essentially that. We race downhill / stages, anywhere from 3 to say 7 in a day or over the course of 2 days. And at the end of those days, it's the accumulative time, and obviously the person with the lowest time wins. So generally they're bigger days, some pedaling. We'll do a 2 to 7 hour day, and kind of just out there riding our bicycles, enjoying company, kind of talking on the climbs, and just getting after it on the downhill sections.
Now, what kind of equipment do you need to bring with you on this kind of competition?
I guess that really varies between like where we are in the world. Obviously, food and water, you have to stay hydrated and eat as you go. If you're out there for 6 hours and you're putting this kind of effort out, your body just consumes through energy and just needs to be constantly fueled and hydrated throughout the day. So aside from that, you'll carry a spare tube and little things for mechanicals like a chain breaker. Some people carry tape and some cables. So I guess it just depends on what you're willing to carry, but those are the general things that people do carry. And we race on 160 mil mountain bikes that have insane technology, from carbon fiber to titanium to hydraulic disc brakes to suspension where you can just mow over anything on the trail. And then, we wear full face helmets on the downhills because it gets kind of dangerous out there, and it's good to keep it safe.
Was your family supportive of your bicycling?
Yes, they definitely are. Years ago when I was pursuing it, I wouldn't say they were not supportive, but they were kind of like, what are you doing, like riding a bike still? Like you do that when you're a kid, but it kind of grew on them, and it definitely made sense with time, and they're 100% in, and they love seeing the fact that I'm chasing my dream and doing what I'm doing, and traveling the world.
How would you advise others who wanted to turn their passion into a career?
Be persistent. Be persistent and never stop chasing your dreams. Whatever age you are, it doesn't matter, and do what makes you happy, because you only got this one life. So, man, if you have this deep passion for something, do it, because it's you. If you're a musician to an athlete to you're a gamer, it doesn't matter. It's who you are. So whatever that passion is, eat, live it, breathe it, and just give it your all. As long as you give it your all, that's all that matters.
Do you remember your first bike?
I do remember my first bike. It was a Kent, a super sketchy Kent that I broke a couple times. My dad would like re-weld back together, and yeah, it's bicycles have come a long ways in the past 10 years, let alone the last 20 years.
I'm supposed to ask you my dad has a 1985 Fisher Montero that he rode in Ragbri in 1988. I'm supposed to ask you from him, what kind of bikes do you have now?
I currently race for Specialized Bicycles, so I've been with them for over a decade. So my main go-to rig is a S-Works Enduro. That's the best of the best, 170 mil trail bike. Along with that, I have a whole fleet of bikes. So I have a stump jumper to an Epic to a camber. I have a really nice road bike, Tarmac. So actually I have a Red Bull web series, and it's called On Track. And in one of the episodes from a couple months back, we showcase bicycles of where they've come from 1988 when they started mountain biking in Marin up in Northern California to where they are now, and it kind of goes through that timeline in a way and shows the natural progression of bicycles. So it's kind of cool to see it in that format, where bicycles back then basically had a frame and wheels and were not very confidence inspiring to what they are now, where they're just these, it's basically like NASA. These things are insane. Like I said, these bicycles you can buy a $15,000 bike now and jump 50 feet in the air and be good to go and do it again.
Have you had any serious accidents or big time scares?
For sure, I've had some good crashes. I guess you have to define serious. I've broken my ribs plenty of times, an ACL, meniscus, a wrist, an ankle. I don't consider that serious. I'm still here, healthy, in one piece, happy. So I guess it's all relative.
What's the hardest part about this sport?
Just being consistent and being on form for 7 months out of the year. So that's definitely something that's challenging with all the travel, the stress of racing, staying on peak form. Things happen. You have injuries, you break ribs. Things happen on the bicycle. So I'd say, just being consistent and maintaining a solid form throughout the season.
Now, how long could you compete at this level?
That's a good question, man. If I knew the answer to that question, I would tell my wife. I don't know. Like I said, I still feel young as ever. I'm happy, relative, enjoying it, challenging for wins. Man, I hope another 3 years. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
How long have you been married?
Just like a year. Yeah. No kids, just a 9-pound chihuahua. She's like a kid. Yeah. She's actually so funny. She's on the On Track series as well. She's a special little dog. So.
Well, like me, you're a native Californian. Tell us about your current neighborhood and where you go for fun.
I live in Santa Monica, and it's part of beautiful Los Angeles. DiscoverLosAngeles.com. Within that, you can kind of see what we have, and for us, we like to keep it simple. I'm either in the mountains or at the beach. Because throughout the year it's kind of crazy, all the travel and everything and obligations and racing. When we get home, we have this beautiful spot to enjoy the quieter, simpler things. So it's going to our favorite restaurant off PCH, having a great meal off Santa Monica Boulevard, and then going home and chilling out. So plenty of options, just great taquerias right down the street. For that after ride snack, and Yeah, man, I'm pretty simple. I use all my matches throughout the race season. I always say I only have so many matches, and I burn through that book through the 7 months. And after that, it's time for me to chill out at home, and Los Angeles is a pretty good spot. So,
Now tell me about your video series, please.
so Red Bull Media House and myself have a web series called On Track, and it follows my story and the EWS, which is the Enduro World Series, and that's the race series that we compete in. So it's race action. It's some of my off-season stuff. It's the highs and lows of what's going on with me and other racers from those races in the EWS. So it's just kind of behind-the-scenes content, showcasing what's going on. So it's a good variety of things, bicycle-wise. A racer's life, and just anything bicycle related.
Now, where can people learn more about Enduro?
Anything on Red Bull Media House, redbullbike.com, and the Enduro World Series.
And where can people follow you on social media, or your web series is Red Bull Media?
It's on Red Bull Media House, but redbullbike.com, and anything Curtis Keene for Instagram and Twitter and Facebook.
Now, many kids are going to be getting bicycles for Christmas and Hanukkah this year. Do you have any advice for them?
Be a good kid and ask Santa a lot. Be persistent.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, I'm good actually.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Hope you do well this year.
Thank you for having me.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.